There's less than a week away until New York City elects its next mayor. And if the polls are correct, Curtis Sliwa has a whole lot of ground to make up. An Emerson College poll has him trailing Democratic candidate Eric Adams by 36 points.
So last hour, we spoke with the Democrat, Eric Adams, and joining us right now is the Republican mayoral nominee, Curtis Sliwa. He's also running on the Independent Party line. Nice to have you back on Good Day, New York.
Oh, feeling good. Just came out of the subway to talk to all of you. By the way, I saw you were rocking that music. Were you with Eric Adams at the Zero Bond Club last night?
Oh, my goodness.
With all those millionaires and billionaires? Come on.
No, I think we were watching that on TV last night. Curtis, hey, speaking of Eric Adams, he was on earlier. A lot of people were talking about the mayoral debate where you asked to grade the current mayor in office. And Eric Adams said he would give him a B+, which was shocking. So I asked him again today, would it be a B+? Listen to what he had to say.
Of course, I was being nice, but at the same time, I was specifying some areas that I thought was, well, listen, there's been some places we failed, but those areas like pre-K is a B+. Those areas like municipal ID is a B+. So it's difficult when you give someone an overall grade. And listen, I'm not a good grader. I'm not a teacher. I'm running to be the mayor of the city of New York. And it's not what happened in the past. It's the future of this city. And I'm excited about what's to come.
All right, Curtis. So he admitted he was giving him a little pass on certain areas. What do you think?
A pass. Bill de Blasio was just like Eric Adams. It's 2.0. Single-handedly taking a wrecking ball to the city that we all love. It's obvious to all. In fact, notice in the afternoons when he goes on his 2-hour walks, he doesn't even do it in Prospect Park any longer where people boo him. He goes to Greenwood Cemetery, and even the skeletons in the mausoleums and gravesites boo him. And while he's going, he's the worst mayor we've ever had. B+, Eric Adams, please. That's why they're like two peas in a pod. You vote for Eric Adams, you're getting Bill de Blasio for another 4 years.
Let's talk about the vaccine mandate that for municipal workers. Tomorrow is it at 5 o'clock. There are protests planned for today. We don't know what staffing is going to be like on Monday. What would you do if you were mayor?
Look, I will be with the firefighters at Gracie Mansion today, as I was with all the civil servants who came across the Brooklyn Bridge the other day. Can you imagine how insensitive, inhumane this is for the mayor on his way out, like Michael Corleone saying, I'm going to settle all scores, that he puts his boot to the neck of these heroes, these essential workers, and says to them, you either get your vaccine shot on Friday or you're fired. You can't get paid. You can't go out and get another job. And these brave men and women are saying, wait a second, what's right is right. We encourage people to get vaccinated. But for those who can't because of medical or religious reasons, or those who just choose not to, we were being tested once a week. Why all of a sudden are we being fired? When I'm mayor, day one, I roll back all those mandates. I hire all these essential, heroic workers back, and I give them back pay. This is disgraziata. And Eric Adams is supporting Mayor de Blasio on this. That's going to jeopardize us. Cops will not be coming to work. Firefighters, sanitation workers. Isn't there enough garbage in the streets? Isn't there enough crime in the streets? And God forbid fires take place and we don't have firefighters to staff the firehouses. This is all on de Blasio and Eric Adams for giving him tactical support on this issue.
Well, there might be a little bit more garbage on the street come next week when some of the sanitation workers do not show up who are unvaccinated, but that is neither here nor there. Let's talk about crime, because I think that's been a big issue on most people's minds. And we talked to Eric Adams earlier, and we said, hey, he was kind of mentioning there's no concerns. New Yorkers don't have concerns. And like, that is a big concern. You guys do differ on your approach to crime. He's mentioning that he wants to meet with these major gang leaders, some of them who've killed people. What is your take on this? I mean, he made a pretty good argument saying that, you know, you do have to meet with those leaders, because then trying to talk to them and level with them, you don't agree.
Are you so hopelessly naive to believe that? Are you crazy? He hasn't sat down with any of the police union, and he's going to sit down with, in his own words, gang leaders with bodies. That means gang leaders who've killed people. He sat down with them. I want to know, who are these leaders? Who are the gangs that were represented? When did these meetings take place? You did this as the Brooklyn Borough president, where gang violence is skyrocketing, gun violence is skyrocketing. Hey, how did that work out? This has never worked in any city. This has been tried in L.A., in Baltimore after their riots didn't work, and in Chicago with the friend of Eric Adams, Louis Farrakhan of the Nation of Islam, who every year brings gang members together. They promise they're going to be peaceful. There's more gang violence in Chicago than ever before. Should ask Eric Adams about his friend Louis Farrakhan's attempt to bring gangs together. That doesn't work. That sends the wrong message into the community.
Curtis, what would you do differently than him then?
You lock them up. When they're murderers, you send them to jail. You impose no bail. How crazy is this? I get to pull my 9mm out. I get to kill another gang member. And you know what that entitles me to do? A sit down potentially with the mayor of the city of New York, Eric Adams. That elevates them. That gives them street cred. That's going to enable them to recruit more members. What are you going to do? Have them sit down side by side with the police commissioner? The idea is if you're a murderer, you're a gang leader, I'm going to lock you up. I'm going to throw away the key because you are an enemy of society, a menace to all, especially in the inner city. They live under solitary confinement. They can't even leave their apartments, especially the elderly, especially at night shift, because these gangbangers are having shootouts each and every day. Lock them up. Don't sit down and meet with them and treat them as if they're equals to the police.
So, Curtis, let me ask you something. Curtis, let me ask you something. You know, I think that whatever you've said has resonated with some people, but Eric Adams has painted you as a clown, as someone who can't be trusted because of your past shenanigans. How do you overcome that?
How do I overcome that? Maybe I go to the stage of Lincoln Center and sing Pagliacci, right? The greatest clown in the history of our culture. First of all, this is ridiculous. I'm the only candidate running for mayor who's been a victim of gang violence. That's right, by the Gottis, orders to the Gambinos, who shot me 5 times with hollow point bullets. I have risked and dedicated my life for 42 years to make New Yorkers safe, and in cities around the world. And I didn't get a paycheck. And unlike Eric Adams, who always brags, I wore a bulletproof vest, I'm gonna carry my gun when I'm mayor. I've never carried a weapon. I've never worn a bulletproof vest. I ride the subways and go into the streets every day into the public housing projects. Where is Eric Adams? The other day, you know what he was saying? Michael Bloomberg, he's like Jesus Christ, calming the waters at the Sea of Galilee. He's been bought and he's bossed. He's been wine-dined and pocket-lined, and he's lost his cred with the peeps in the streets, in the subways, and in the parks.
Okay.
That makes it very clear. He is the candidate of the wealthy and the elite. I am the candidate of the people in the streets.
Listen,
that is very clear.
Curtis Sliwa, you know, you definitely amuse us, and in there, you know, people are saying you got some very good points. It's just, you know, you may have been beat up by certain people, but you also faked that you were beat up and robbed by certain people. And so, you know, sometimes your reputation precedes you.
Oh, look, I've already apologized for that. But what about Eric Adams? He's faked where he lives. You still don't know where he lives. And
Why
then
do you
he
he showed his house off. He brought the press in his house. And
come on. And by the way, he had problems with the IRS, and he blamed it on a homeless guy in a shelter. What is he going to do? Repurpose this guy and make him head of the director of budget for the city of New York? Come on. He's faking everything.
Wait,
you're not on his case, but you're on my case.
You got a couple more days left to go with this. What is your main argument when you talk to people in the streets that maybe, hey, I'm voting for Eric Adams? How do you change their minds to vote for you?
Because Eric Adams is de Blasio 2.0. He gave the guy a B+ for the 8 years that he destroyed our city, devastated our city. He wants to keep Stephen Banks head of homeless services. He said that publicly. This man has destroyed New York City by putting shelters into 80 different communities. He does nothing about Thrive. you there at Good Day New York have constantly badgered Thrive, the mayor's wife and the mayor. Where's the money? $1.25 billion. And Eric Adams is going to keep that program alive on day one when I'm mayor. That's it. No more Thrive. And we're going to investigate where is the money. And I would bet you it might be in Panama, the Cayman Islands, or a Swiss bank account, because it certainly hasn't gone to the people, the lost souls in the street, the emotionally disturbed persons that it was intended for. I'm with them every day, compassionate, caring. Eric Adams is not compassionate and caring. He's just a continuation of de Blasio 2.0. Vote for him, and you get de Blasio for another 4 years. Vote for me, and you get real change and a person who's got his boots on the ground and rides the subway every day. That's not Eric Adams.
And you got cats, too. Anyway, Republican candidate for mayor, Curtis Sliwa,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on Good Day New York.
And thank you for saving
That's
the
right.
cats.
No kill shelters
Yes, exactly.
will be ruled. We're not
Thank
killing
you.
dogs or cats any
We
longer.
appreciate that, especially coming from a cat person. All right,
I'm a
coming up-
dog person, but I'm not going to let that sway me. Okay, thanks, Curtis.